What is up, my friends? I have a very special video for you today. Woo woo! I asked Spirit about these drones flying all over, including one above my home that has actually been here before all of this interest or even lots of sightings of drones. So we've been seeing it for a minute, and my daughter captured a video of the one in front of our house. And I remember the first time she saw it, she was like, "Mom, what's that?" And I was like, "Maybe it's a police helicopter or something." Because sometimes, they patrol that, but it wasn't. And then all this started hitting. But there's more than just that I'm going to talk to you about. So I asked Spirit about the drones. We need to talk about the Vatican because recently I undid the Sistine Chapel, which is true. And about a month ago, I told you that there was going to be activity coming in the skies and that there were beings that were coming in soon. So I did channel about the drones. I asked Spirit and they told me. I'm going to show you the video my daughter recorded of the one over our home in Colorado. And before I do all that, who I am is Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an ascension master, a master healer, and a divine guide. Since 2019, I had a Kundalini awakening that was sudden, and I began doing things to the earth like clearing Mount Shasta, activating pyramids all over the globe, freeing Jesus' soul because it was trapped, and uniting with my twin flame as well, undoing the Holy Grail on Christmas Day, which they called the resurrection, and uniting Jesus and Mary Magdalene once again, Sekhmet and Horus timelines to even Adam and Eve, birthing the new earth, and most recently, I undid the Sistine Chapel, which I didn't know was coming, but all religion was false. And I painted this painting right when I took us into the portals, and what our way is going to the portal of the Nile, which is the final one. Okay, the Nile came into play as well. Horus returning came into play. I undid the pentagon and the pentagram recently. The money matrix and the Sistine Chapel were all done right before the election. I also told you who would win the election. I channeled that from Spirit, not to mention the work that I was doing, and he did. And recently I did a lotus flower workshop where I told you there were hundreds of beings of light in the sky, and even some here on the planet that were here to help us prep for the solar flare, the great event. In the workshop that I recently did, everything I do, it plays out it happens in the ethereal, much like manifesting, and then boomerangs back to your reality. Okay, that's the way it works. That's the creation of life. However, I will tell you to hopefully not bring judgment here because it cuts you off from light. Anywhere there is judgment, it cuts you off from light. So even if the things I say are a little cuckoo, although my predictions seem to always come through, and the things that I do keep coming back into your reality right in front of you, which is pretty amazing, it's vast. And not everybody is choosing to ascend. But if you bring judgment into it, it cuts you off from that light, okay? So just be observant. That's all I ask. Observe, watch everything, sometimes more than once, and truly do watch everything. Watch how it unfolded. You can see it was my awakening, and that these things are very real, okay? And if you found this channel, there's a reason. So I encourage you to stick around. And if you feel like it, like and subscribe. So now I'm going to show you the video my daughter captured of I don't know what it is. Spirit tells you what it is. So I don't know if I want to call it a drone because it may not necessarily be a drone. Okay, but let's watch this. Here, wait. Let me fix the screen share. All right, so let's watch this. This is the video my daughter recorded. You can hear her. I told her to capture it because at the time it was right over our home here in very south end of Colorado. In the Springs, Colorado Springs, there is a military base. We have Fort Carson, we have NORAD and things like that, which NORAD's pretty sketch. So you would think they would be more there. They actually have seen them in Fort Carson recently, but we saw this one before they were even hitting New Jersey and stuff. And I told my daughter to record it because it was just, we weren't sure yet, although they're well aware of my work because I can't hide who I am and what I do. And so this is nothing new for us. Like I told you a month ago on my channel that this would be occurring. But let's listen.
Huh.
She's like, huh, because she wasn't sure what it was. This is actually from my phone. Let's watch it one more time here. Ooh.
Huh.
So that's the one of the ones. We've captured a few, and some of them don't exactly look like drones either. Okay, so I'm going to also talk about the Vatican because recently I undid the Sistine Chapel, but which is also right here. All the work that I'm talking about you can find unfold on my channel, at least most of it. Some is only available in what God called the path to righteousness because it is the real work, right? So, yeah, a month. So I told you, I said, who will win the election? I said Trump, and he did. And this was done right before the election. I've done predictions in the past of what happened to the submersible. I said it imploded, and then like shortly after it was found and it was imploded. So I have made predictions before, but also the work that I'm doing is very strange, but every prediction I've made has come true. I've done a lot of missing persons things like on Tupac and and we named Diddy then, and so it's all here. Like everything is here. I also said a couple years ago who Elon Musk was, the significance of Elon Musk, not knowing he was going to come through with Trump, but that he wanted to be a leader of the free world, and he had karma to clear, and now we're actually watching that play out. So it's pretty cool. So you will find proof of what I say and do. Here we undid the money matrix, which turned out was the pentagon and the pentagram connection. And then here I closed down all the portals of the pentagram and called back all of the elements from it. Here is where I told you, so it was an urgent message from Andromeda, the great descendant, prepare for galactic integrations. And I'm going to give you the channeled message about these drones or whatever the heck is going on, right? Spirit did give me that. So I will tell you that in just a moment. But, so the Sistine Chapel occurred. That one came in here about a month ago. Around the same time, I said, hey, first I channeled that Trump was going to win. But then all of a sudden, this stuff just started coming through. And these are workshops, okay? So undoing the money matrix, then we undid the Sistine Chapel. I did. But there was more to just that, right? So it's not just the Vatican that's going to fall, but the significance of the Sistine Chapel, you guys, is real. So the Sistine Chapel, what I found out when I did that, and I brought down the blood of Christ and cleansed it and purified it, but there was a crack in the chapel. Everything kind of followed in. It looked like hell underneath it, what you would depict as that, but God doesn't call it that. It was like all this fiery lava, and there were these cherubim angel souls that were freed. So they had, and cherubim were the protectors of Adam and Eve. Okay, so it all makes sense. You will also find the birthing of New Earth on this channel because I brought that through over Lion's Gate. Okay, day 1 through day 8. And what that is and the process of that. We cannot be duality anymore. Okay. So urgent message, Andromeda, the great descendant, prepare for galactic integrations. And there was a channeled message in there that there were beings coming. And that was over a month ago. So also in the pyramid activations that you can find in the Return of Christ playlist, okay, because God had me upload the work I was doing. Not only that, I was recording it because I was doing them in workshops. I thought I was just helping people heal, but then it turned out being Return of Christ work. So first I processed Jesus' death. I saw how he died and I processed it. It was painful. It's not what you think. Cleared Mount Shasta. Started activating pyramids in Fiji, the God's portal. Undid the false stuff they did to the sun and the moon. Okay, dark energy from the moon. I did a lot of these, though, in the path to righteousness. Undid the false concept of time, and this stuff just started happening. Pyramid activations, the Sphinx portal activation. What I did with the Sphinx all plays out. But in these pyramid activations, I think it was one of these two, Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand. There's a bunch of them. But in one of them, I had to undock a spaceship from the Atlantic Ocean. It was actually embedded in like this rock or this underground water mountainside, and I had to unbed it. And they looked like grays. They had gray skin and big black eyes. And so if you think for a second that aliens were not already present here, you're wrong. They were. But these ones were not beings of light. And I actually said we will find them eventually, and they may not be alive. And I may have said that all the way down, activating the masculine pyramids of Kilimanjaro, okay, which is right here. Ecuador, Kilimanjaro, Congo, these are the masculine pyramids. The first ones I did back in 2020 were feminine pyramids, and I didn't know that at first either. Christmas Day, we undid the Holy Grail. I brought down the blood of Christ first a few years ago, and that was the portal of the Garden of Eden, and I did that a few years ago in preparation for birthing the new earth. Okay, I got to walk in twin flame because my original, his soul really was, he had a black heart, and he ended up not following the call of God and kind of attacking me, and I spent a year trying to save my life during all of this as well, and we almost died, and he did die, so I got to walk in. But the return of Christ, these are all workshops you might want to watch. Okay, I undid the collective and individual shadow. Jesus did die at the Euphrates River, and I undid that. And I activated hidden dormant chakra systems, 7D related. Okay, so I took us into 7D. This is going to help you make sense of what's happening in the sky right now. Because we are not alone. Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe also came through recently in the Lotus Flower portal on 12/12. So in that one, I also told you there were hundreds of beings in the sky here to help, because what I did was unite Kilimanjaro to Nigeria. It was a masculine pyramid to the feminine when two became one. Drew down all kinds of Christ light, and I took us into the eye of the sun, which they called the solar event. And so all these beings of light are here to help carry that light. Okay? I have predicted many things over the years, birthed the earth, processed her death. My new twin flame finally united with the soul fragment of Jesus, which waited in a flower on earth for him, which I didn't understand at first. It's a lot, but it's all here. This is important because what I'm about to tell you about the drones and the Sistine Chapel makes sense, okay? Freed souls from the Twin Towers, they tell you what happened there. But religion started being processed a while ago, okay? Religion must be removed. It's a shadow. They lied to you a lot. God really wasn't present in religion, and that's going to be one of the hardest things for people to come out of. Return the full power of the sun. Doesn't mean God's not real. He's in our heart space, but religion was a false concept, okay? Only Jesus is a false concept. It was Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve. And those are the timelines that I cleared. Okay? Here's birthing new earth, the Nile portal, integration. And then it went into clearing the money matrix, creation of life portal, rebirth of the angels, because they will walk amongst us again. 2 for the new earth, clearing the Sistine Chapel, undoing the Sistine Chapel. Anointing of the blood of Christ. There were cherubim angels that they had trapped there. Cherubim angels were protective of Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve. Okay? I told you Trump would win, and he did. I told you the submersible imploded, and it did. What I did to Mount Shasta, I actually told you there will be earthquakes coming through there, which is depicted on my painting as well that I did. So it's all here. Here's the 12/12 portal of the Eye of Lotus. When two become one, great solar flash, okay? That dealt with Kilimanjaro and Nigeria becoming one, masculine and feminine. All right? So now I'm going to channel for you, or I will read to you what Spirit said about the drones. They are not all what you think, making a lot of people think some form of government issue. They are some spy ones and some not. Some are not of anything you know. These are the drones in the sky, which we got one on camera. They're all over. They are aware of our presence, and they are not telling you. Attempts to keep us from showing you who we are. They are attempts to keep us from showing you who we are. Some from other countries, some of them are not. Some of them are not drones at all. Okay, so some of them are from other countries, and some of them are not drones at all. But as ready now to make contact. Okay. They're ready to make contact. And that's why all these drones are coming in large swarms. They're aware, they're trying to block it. I feel like it's an intimidation tactic in some degree, but some are not even drones at all. And we've caught one over our home that was just like this blue and white flash. So the first of the year, okay, so some are from other countries, some are not drones at all, but they are ready now to make contact. So the first of the year, something very special will appear. For now, enjoy the show. You can't hide us for very long. This was from the Andromedans, Pleiadians, and the Galactic Presence. I also asked which drones were from other countries, what countries they were, and they said Asia and China and Russia. Okay, so the drones, there are some drones, oh, I got chills. The drones in the sky are from Asia, China, but also Russia. Okay, so they are not all what you think. I'm going to read it one more time. Making a lot of people think that some are from the government, some form of government issue, right? They're making people think that maybe it's war or something like that. There's a government issue. But they are some spy ones, some not, and some are not of anything you know. They are aware of our presence, beings of light, which I told you over a month ago were coming. I told you over a month ago there were beings of light coming, what you would call aliens. God doesn't call them that. They're called galactic beings of light or ethereal beings of light. They're aware of the presence and they're not telling you, okay? There are attempts to keep us from showing you who we are. Some are from other countries. Some of them are not drones at all. But is ready now to make contact. Okay, they are ready now to make contact. They're not just observing anymore. The first of the year, something very special will appear. For now, enjoy the show. They can't hide us for very long. Okay? Then I told you about the Sistine Chapel, right? The Sistine Chapel is also coming in the energy because I undid it a little over a month ago. I did it actually for a healing. I didn't know it was coming, all right? This is how all of the work is. You can watch that. And what happened in it is the Sistine Chapel fell apart, like all the paintings starting to crumble. I didn't even know what it was. The ground cracked and you could see all this fiery lava, and all these trapped angelic souls were released, and they were cherubim angels, which were the protectors of Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden. Okay, so religion was not of light. However, the Vatican is not the only one that's going to fall. Then this video also hit my radar, so we are going to watch it.
Beloved brothers and sisters of Earth, we are honored to be with you for another exciting announcement once more through this messenger. Beloved souls, we of the
might help if I shared the video. It might help. Let's do that. There we go. So we are sharing now the video.
Galactic Federation of Light greet you in this transformative now. We wish to offer insight into recent developments on your world, including a significant revelation soon to be brought to public attention. We remind you that you are already masterful beings of light. All necessary wisdom, tools, and divine powers reside within. With incoming streams of gamma photon light and uplifting frequencies, your dormant DNA is reconfiguring, granting you heightened perception and intuitive abilities. Fifth dimensional states of being are accessible now if you choose to unlock them by aligning mind and heart, relinquishing fear, and embracing love.
I have to tell you that the 7D blueprint is available, but not all were expecting to be in 7D. So 5D is more accessible. 7D, though, is actually present, but only some will be able to reach those heights of energy receptivity. But 5D still is the baseline.
By daring to follow your greatest dreams with courage, you move closer to the 5D reality you so desire. Not all souls have chosen to ascend at this juncture, and that is their sacred right. Still, your planet inevitably rises into a dimension of unconditional love. Some will cling to old dramas, fear-based systems, or illusions of scarcity, while others embrace the grand unveiling of truth and step forward joyfully. This frequency divide is visible in the unrest and radical changes unfolding everywhere, yet miracles abound too, and for many, there is a calm excitement in witnessing the old giving way to the new. It has long been anticipated, and while it may have experienced perceived delays, we assure you it will unfold within the divine schedule. Agreements within the Councils of Light have determined that humanity is sufficiently prepared to learn of certain specific truths that have been kept hidden for a long time, that will now allow humanity to advance to a higher civilization in time. We would encourage you to keep your eyes on what you know of as the Vatican at this time. Although the revelations may originate in that nation, its impact will ripple across your entire globe. Understand that no matter what the remaining factions of darkness attempt, the truth is destined to be shared openly with the people.
You guys, I did this over a month ago, okay? It all happened fast. These ones happened really fast. Undoing the money matrix, all before the election. I even told you Trump would win, and he did. But if you watch all my videos, like, he was actually protected, because that's a sign of the end times. He got past their barriers because he's not part of their agenda. The pentagram is equal to the pentagon. It was created over the energy of the pentagram. It's all right here, okay? But the Sistine Chapel undoing happened a little over a month ago. And now other people are channeling about the Vatican. There is no coincidence. Everything I do is like an ethereal boomerang. Okay, that's how I do. So activating the pyramids are the portals you are now rising through. So since 2020, it was preparation for these events. Okay, it was also clearing out all darkness and removing all contracts of darkness. And now we are finally seeing the work that I've done play out. So it's important to watch it because it's real. And Christmas time was the resurrection in 22. I undid the Holy Grail as well. So these events are kind of smaller events that are going to lead to even more bigger explosive ones. And God has been warnings. There's been warnings. There's been movement of the sun and the moon and things. And they would always tell you, look to the sky, look to these things for proof of the end of times. It is.
TikTok keeps...
We of the Galactic Federation can also confirm that this disclosure will be communicated through a channel that cannot be censored or manipulated by entrenched powers. The Councils of Light work tirelessly behind the scenes, prioritizing this release so that humanity may awaken more fully, not just to earthly affairs, but also to the reality of a vast and interconnected universe.
I also have to tell you, right before the Sistine Chapel, I was attacked. Somebody that rose with me actually had a purpose in it as well. And the darkness, it was just, they succumbed, okay? So I almost didn't make it. I was actually, it came through with a vengeance. It came through with urgency. And it was like bam, bam, bam. Like really, I did all of these around the same time because it all came through like bam, bam, bam. Because I was tired. I've spent since 2020, 2019, clearing Mount Shasta, activating pyramids, doing the Jesus work, battling for my own twin soul and my soul for over a year. Those attacks were very painful and they took a toll on my physical vessel. I truly almost didn't make it. And so to get here to where recently I did the Sistine Chapel undoing, you guys, this was undoing it. It was darkness. It was not of light. To actually hear this now, I'm like so blessed.
Further delays would serve no one. The urgency is clear. People must recognize what has shaped their lives across multiple incarnations and understand that these dark orchestrations extend beyond their borders and even beyond their comprehension of reality. You must understand that there are levels to this disclosure, and there are a number of different viewpoints among your Earth leaders within your military compartments.
Yes, that's what I just told you. There will be levels of the disclosures, because I've started telling you in 2020 that if you saw everything all at once, mentally, we wouldn't be able to handle it. You had to wait, and they wouldn't be able to see it back then anyways. You had to wake up enough. And it's urgent that these things be exposed, because when I started removing darkness from light, I told you everything will surface to be seen. That way, once it's seen, you process it out of your collective soul. But it's already been removed from the earth. So if you can process it out of your collective soul and you're willing to do that, you're more willing to rise. But some, like they said, will choose not to. And I saw that happen already. But we can't force people. I can't force people to say, hey, the new earth is so beautiful. Like, trust me, it's a blessing. But unfortunately, they get stuck in those fears and the programmings that are not of light.
Some believe that bigger truth drops are needed, whilst others believe that a more subtle, gradual approach is needed. And so discussions continue to wage behind the scenes.
That's also what Trump will do. Okay, I told you when I was protecting him, and I told you he was going to be assassinated, they were going to assassinate him. I told you that they were going to attempt to, and God had me protect him and ground him a few times. And then I said there were like 3 more attempts, and there were. Because he is here to expose. He's here to help clear the karma. He's not part of their agenda, and he will be telling you truths. Same with Musk. Musk, though, thinks he's going to be a leader of the free world, and I said that 2 years ago, and it's all on my channel. They have a purpose.
Your collective ascension has advanced to a pivotal stage. Prime Creator has declared, "The rising consciousness of the collective is ready," indicating that the moment has arrived for a grand unveiling that will astonish many. This revelation is not solely about unmasking certain leaders and power structures. It also reintroduces a deeper understanding of who has truly been acting as a catalyst for freedom. For some, it will be an unexpected shift in perspective.
Wow.
Where once they viewed an individual as an adversary, now they may recognize the role of a liberator. Though some among you feel disappointment at these prolonged preludes, trust that the timing must be impeccably aligned for such profound truths to emerge. Fear not, my friends. All is proceeding according to the divine plan. It is with great joy that we confirm the revelation will occur either in your year of 2025 or very close to it, irrespective of any threats posed by the shadowy few.
The chills are overwhelming me. And I recently did the 2025 predictions on my channel. And like, it pointed to that. It pointed to, it said the exodus of Egypt and all of these things were coming for 2025. They had me do this with urgency because not enough people were choosing to rise, so we did bypass some time. You guys, it's mind-blowing me, and I'm the one who brought it about. And when they said certain things just now, the chills were so overwhelming. They've been telling me for a long time that you will awaken because I'm in your heart. You will see the truths of what's been done because it's in your heart space. But it is the Great Awakening. You guys have to watch the work on my channel, because if you truly watch it and you observe it, it's honorable and it's amazing. And what they're saying, I'm getting so many chills.
They have lost their leverage. Humanity deserves to know what has transpired across eons under the veil of darkness on this planet.
Yes, so people think that it was intentional that there was darkness. It was not. We were not meant to be duality. They came through and ripped my twin flame and I apart from the beginning of time. They ripped Adam and Eve apart. They ripped Sekhmet and Horus apart. And they ripped Jesus and Mary Magdalene apart. And it was the same soul, because I called back each fragment each time. And you can watch it on my channel. It's all there. Like, it was blowing my mind and I almost died. And my DM did die. And I got a walk-in, the most beautiful walk-in you can imagine. And in 2025, they also said we will be seeing who he is, either through him exposing it or because we will be rising in your heart space. And they're validating all of this. 2025 is the year. And some people are like, it'll be 2030. No.
Whether it is today, tomorrow, or soon thereafter, the magnitude of the unveiling will remain just as impactful. The victory of the light is assured, and those who have attempted to keep you suppressed understand that their time is over.
You guys, undoing the Holy Grail was massive, but so is undoing the Sistine Chapel, undoing the false concept of time. The moon work, there was tons of it in the path to righteousness. I brought down all the Christ light through the rays, the angel rays. Like, I've done so much work since 2019 and 2020 is when it began. I had a sudden Kundalini awakening. This right here was the whole battle with my DM. It was like bam, 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 bam. And then he died on August 30th of 22. And shortly after that, during that time, I brought down the blood of Christ the first time, which I thought was weird because I'm not religious. I didn't understand all of it. To me, it's like cleansing with blood wasn't pleasant, but it was. And then we undid the Holy Grail on Christmas Day of 22 live on this channel. Okay, then the moon solar eclipse falseness was undone. 70 Pleiadians galaxies where we went into. Then I began activating the masculine pyramids with the energy of my new DM. Then the Nile happened. Mount Shasta Part 2 was done, which is where Archangel Samael burned. Okay, this is when I started removing all darkness from the light. This is when I told you about the submersible, and the truth about the Ankh was the true cross, not the cross you know, which is why in this painting there's Bibbles, with an upside down cross, crosses cracked and burning, and all the souls freeing. And I just did that after I did this painting. I undid the Sistine Chapel. It's all there. The proof is so here. And
for too long, controlling entities have distorted your media and delivered falsehoods under the guise of care and protection. They have engineered conditions to limit your freedoms and to dictate what substances you place within your bodies. Their concern is not for your well-being.
I've said that for a long time. As a master healer, I do healings that is not normal. I have many clients. I do healings also. I do all kinds of things. I have a workshop today of Pleiadian origin to help us with teeth healings, and we're going to detox at a cellular level. And I also do creative blocks because we should be creative in some form or another. It's part of our heart center. Each one of us has something. For years, I've been saying the medications are toxic. They block you. Even as with a psychology degree like I have, I couldn't work through medications. They had to be free of medications to help in cognitive behavioral. But there are therapists I know that won't help anybody if they're in crisis. I work the crisis line. And so when people are medicated, they're blocked. Okay, the medications, the substances, like, we can't do that and rise. You have to be able to clear them all, okay? Or we can't see clearly, we can't heal clearly. They block you. They block your third eye. I've healed somebody with Parkinson's disease, and I saw what caused that. And it's everything to do with what they put in our system.
Rather, they have aimed at diminishing your population and keeping you in submission. Yet they are losing power each day as you reclaim your sovereignty and realize you outnumber them. Your increasing awareness and resolve destabilize their carefully laid plans, reducing them to fragments of a failing agenda. Our presence here is to protect you and other worlds from igniting into intergalactic conflict. We are aware that certain negative extraterrestrial groups, reptilians, negative Dracos, Orions, and others, have aligned with Earth-based dark factions such as the Deep State and various shadow networks. Their ambition to dominate the entire cosmos is vast, yet we cannot permit such catastrophic intentions to succeed. Cosmic balance and peace must be preserved. Do not be alarmed. Be at peace, my friends. Ensure your loving intention is at the
Getting this education.
You have to be soul path aligned. In the soul path, you're awakening, you know the powers of you. You cannot be attached to the
of
matrix.
your thoughts, words, and deeds. This knowledge is shared to empower you, not to instill fear. You are resisting their limitations, ascending to become galactic humans fully conscious of your inherent multi-dimensional nature. Although you experience temporary food supply disruptions, these arise from multiple factors: shifts in trade, containers stuck at ports under scrutiny by the Alliance, and deliberate attempts by corrupt souls to manufacture scarcity. Realize that Mother Gaia offers countless undiscovered edible resources, ensuring you will not truly lack nourishment. Elevate your vibrations beyond fear and confusion, holding...
I've actually been saying that about food for a long time because GMO elimination, apocalypse phase. We will go without their poisons. And then some of them want to depict fear, just like they did with the V's, right? And those were to block your DNA integrations. They also have a foreign alien DNA in them. While I'm bringing down all this Christ light and these things are happening with the sun, it's providing you Christ DNA activations. So those that took the V's were actually blocked from those in a very big way. Most of them.
Fast to the light of hope and transformation. As illusions crumble like old walls, you draw nearer to reclaiming a free world unswayed by manipulative forces. The divine orchestrates events that cannot be halted. We eagerly anticipate the moment when we may openly land and assist you in establishing centers of light worldwide to guide healing and the resurgence of peace, health, and higher consciousness.
So many chills. So many chills. Dude, I've been doing this stuff for so long, and we made it. Like, to know that I made it. I remember there was like a month I was just like, I made it, God. Like, we did it. And I was just celebrating. And people couldn't see it yet. This to me is such a blessing. Like, I've been saying this for a while. I said a month ago that they were going to make contact. I've said it almost in all of the work that I've done, though. From activating the pyramids, I told you there were already beings not of light here, okay? They were part of your structure that is falling, and they were in the water in the Atlantic Ocean. I had to undock them to activate the pyramids. So the aliens that are coming, beings of light, are of light. I'm so excited. We will intertwine 7D. We will have angelic presence walking the earth amongst us. It's going to be amazing. New
Be
Earth
discerning.
is amazing.
Those in positions of earthly power who project caring facades may be far removed from genuine compassion. These beings, occultists and dark manipulators, have infiltrated nearly every aspect of your existence.
Yes. So in the religion and underneath the White House and everything, if you watch Kilimanjaro, the White House was demolished, and underneath there were beings with black cloaks and upside down crosses on their neck and Bibles in their hand, which they manipulated the word of God, okay? In the religion, there was the same thing. The Sistine Chapel, which is what they're talking about, had the same thing. Watch it. Underneath there, they had, like, they're lying to you. They are lying to you. They are not of God. They used God's light to hurt you, to divide, to manipulate, to create fear and false timelines. They use the abundance of the divine to create this false money system to entrap you and control your mind. So it's all there.
They feign carrying the torch of enlightenment when their intent is to keep you shackled in fear. Recognize that you are in the midst of a great unveiling, a lifting of the veil. Truth versus falsehood, love against fear.
By the way, the veil was created through Mount Shasta. They closed down the portal of God, which was at Fiji, which I activated and opened there with the pyramid there. I had to return the root chakra from Mount Shasta back to Fiji, which is why in the Truman Show he kept like being controlled by the moon, and he's like, I gotta return to Fiji. And I didn't understand that until God pointed that out, and I saw the work that I did, and I was like, it was like after the fact, I was like, oh my God, like it's all been right there.
But these are illusions. There is only love. The only power is creator, and creator is love. Cosmic unity will soon replace these long-standing divisions, and we see this process is well underway.
Love won. Love won. Love of my DM won. I felt that love, and I battled so hard, and I got a beautiful walk-in. Love won. I kept going. Love won. I kept choosing love. You have to choose love to rise above. And that's why the path to righteousness that God had me put everything into was truly priceless, because it was everything you needed to make it home. Through God, through the actual return work that was brought about. It's so amazing and such a blessing and such a gift.
As Earth ascends, lost magic and long-hidden wisdom will also begin to re-emerge, and those ready will remember who they are, reclaiming their cosmic heritage. The journey may not be instantaneous for all, but all is progressing according to each soul's chosen timing. Your physical forms accompany you, and embracing your role as co-creator demands more than positive thought alone.
Co-creator, so I said the new earth, you have to be heart-centered, balance from the heart space, and co-creating with God. Because it's through the light of God. We're all connected, and you have to do things through the light of God purely, not duality. So you can't pick up these fears and these false systems. You have to be pure sovereign. And as long as you're on your soul path and you're doing the soul growth work and you're choosing love through every karmic lesson that appears, that's your way home. But you have to have all contracts intact. There was darkness running through the spiritual realm, the world of spirituality here, and they were burning and cutting karmic contracts. And I see it happening even in Reiki on YouTube to this day. That is a detriment. You won't be able to rise if you did that. You have to be able to have all karmic contracts intact, because then you will be presented with those lessons, and you just have to choose love the whole way.
It requires intentional, loving action. Take heart, beloved ones. The divine plan prevails. Nothing can halt the awakening of humanity. We stand with you,
Nothing.
we watch over you, and we work alongside you as you usher in this new cosmic era. Being positive or enlightened alone is not enough. Let your decisions, love, and courage shape this destiny. Yep. Great starseeds and lightworkers, always remember, although we share messages like this one today, we are not your saviors, and no one is coming to save you. You are the light that guides the way for you.
I have said that so many times. You have free will. Even though I did the work and I designed the path for you, that's why God offered the path to righteousness. He told me to put the entire totality of the return of Christ work into the path to righteousness. It's not all on YouTube. Because if you do it and you bring shadow into it, it hurts you. You cannot be duality, okay? So you have to choose love the whole way. If you don't, you cannot make it into New Earth, because you have to clear out karma. And you have free will. They cannot take your free will. God gave you free will. So you have the choice to rise. You have to make the choices to clear your karmic demise. It's about soul growth. It is a rite of passage. I freaking love this video, because I've been saying this for a long time.
Love is the ultimate truth, the fabric of the universe, and the key to transcendence. All else, mere shadows of illusion, will dissolve in the light of this universal love. In unity and with boundless affection, we are your galactic allies. With the deepest love, we are the Galactic Federation.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, again, the drones are exactly what Spirit told you they are, okay? The work that I've done is very real. I activated the masculine and feminine pyramids, reactivated because they closed them down. I moved the sun and the moon. The Nile really happened as well, but everything I've done is now playing out in your ethereal. They say it can't be stopped because it can't. I undid it all, and I do mean all of it. from the Sistine Chapel to Mount Shasta 1 and 2 to Fiji 1 and 2, bringing down all Christ's light, removing all souls trapped, even back to Salem, Massachusetts, undoing all contracts of religion, undoing the Emancipation Proclamation in Mount Shasta Part 1, because even that was a manipulation. Like, it's all there. Activated the dormant chakra system, took us into 7D, and then rebuilt New Earth. And in order to make it through every portal, a lesson will rise. You have to choose love over karmic demise. You need to have all karmic contracts intact, not burned and things. In the path to righteousness, I did all that for you. That was a blessing and a gift from God. And it was the actual every step of the return of Christ work, which a lot of is on this channel because God told me to put it there. I'm so excited. So much love. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I love it. Love is good. Love is good. I love God so much. I'm just so excited. I'll see you guys later.